Hello, I'm Harvey, and thank you for joining us today. In this session, we'll guide you through adding new contacts in the Heating app. If you haven't watched the Setting Up Your Account videos yet, I highly recommend doing so first and completing the setup process. This will provide you with a solid foundation and a better understanding of the app's features and functionalities. Once you have set up your account, you'll find it much easier to follow along and comprehend the steps involved in managing contacts, adding appliances, and utilizing various features effectively. So take some time to watch the previous videos, get your account ready, and then join us for this walkthrough to make the most out of the Heating app. To get started, I recommend using a desktop computer for an enhanced learning experience while watching this tutorial. However, you can use a mobile or tablet if you prefer. Let's begin by adding a new contact and exploring all the functionalities available. We'll see how to manage multiple appliance locations and tag services to appliances for simplified invoicing. We'll also delve into the automatic reminder system for servicing appointments and discover where all the important documents for customers and appliances are stored. So let's go ahead and get started. Click on the gray contact book icon, located at the center bottom of the screen. Next, click on the plus sign in the bottom right corner to create a new contact entry. In the contact drop-down box, you will find the option to add 3 different types of contacts. The first contact, a householder and tenant. This contact type refers to the individual or individuals residing in the property. The second contact, a landlord or agent. This contact type manages one or multiple properties. You can link this type of contact to the householder and tenant. This allows you to manage invoicing and certifying either the landlord and agent directly or the householder, depending on your requirements. The third contact, an insurance company. You can also link this contact to the householder and tenant. This enables you to invoice, quote, send forms and certificates to the insurance company associated with the property. By categorizing your contacts in these different types, you can easily manage your interactions and streamline invoicing and documentation processes based on the specific roles and responsibilities of each contact. I will begin by adding a householder and tenant. Start by entering their first name and last name in the provided boxes. Next, input their email address. If the customer requests an invoice to be sent to a different email address, fill in the invoice to section accordingly. No need to add a business name or website for this type of customer, so I'm going to leave these fields blank. Now, include their mobile number, which will be used for automated reminders. Below, you can also add an additional contact number if needed. Next, provide the customer's full address details. If you wish to add an image of the contact, you can upload their picture into the Contact Picture section by clicking the green pencil icon and uploading an image. If you have any notes about the customer, you can add them in the Notes section. It's important to note that the customer will not have access to this information. This section can serve as a helpful place to write down any specific interests or preferences the customer may have, providing you with valuable insights to personalize your interactions with them. Tick the Send a Welcome Email to this customer box to send them a welcome email when you add them to the app, which can be customized in the email and SMS templates section as covered in the first video during account setup. Tick the Send SMS Appointment Reminders box if you wish to send SMS appointment reminders. The reminders go out every 24 hours. By enabling this feature, you can significantly reduce the likelihood of your customers missing or forgetting about their appointments with you. SMS reminders are effective in keeping customers informed and up to date, especially for those who may not regularly check their emails. This ensures better communication and enhances overall customer satisfaction, as they receive timely reminders on their mobile phones, making it easier for them to plan and attend their appointments with your business. If you do not want to email the customer with appointments, tick the Do Not Send Appointment Emails box. Tick the Invoice Monthly box if you prefer sending invoices to the customer at the end of the month. However, if you want to invoice the customer on the day of any services, you can leave this box unticked. Finally, review all the details you've entered for the contact, and once you're satisfied, click the Save button to save the information. After clicking Save, you'll be prompted to add an appliance location. Click Yes to proceed to the next step. All of the details you fill in here will be automatically pre-filled on your forms and certificates that you have published. In the Appliance Location section, you will find two sections. The first is a drop-down box that displays commonly used locations, making it convenient to simply select the ones more frequently used. Below this, you can add new locations. If you want to add a new one, simply input the relevant details in the box provided. Moving on to the next box is the Landlord and Agent section, which we will cover in more detail later in another video. Now, let's focus on the section where we can tag a service to the appliance. When you select the service box, the list of services added during the setup will be displayed here. Additionally, you have the option to add a new service if needed. For this example, I will click and add a new service. This will be an annual chimney sweep for a multi-fuel stove appliance. Just as we did in the setup video, fill out all the necessary details. Use the green pencil icon to upload a picture of the appliance. On a desktop, you can simply upload the image. When inputting on a mobile or tablet, you have the option to either take a picture or upload a saved image of the appliance. In the next section, input the appliance type. If you know the installation date, click on the calendar icon to select and input this date. Input the model of the appliance. In the Notes section, you can add any relevant information about this customer's appliance. These notes will serve as a helpful reference and ensure that specific details about the appliance and its servicing needs are easily accessible, simplifying your workflow and providing a personalized approach to your customer's requirements. In the Additional Email section, you can add any extra email addresses that are related to this particular appliance. These additional email addresses could be of other contacts who need to be informed about the servicing, maintenance, or any updates regarding this appliance. The final and crucial step is selecting the date of the last visit to the appliance and setting the service frequency. This step is essential as it enables the automated reminder system, which plays a vital role in keeping track of customer appointments. By selecting the last visit date and setting the service frequency, the app will automatically remind customers who are not yet booked in the calendar to contact you for scheduling their next service. Additionally, when you run a report called Customers Needing Appointments, all relevant customers who require service appointments will be listed, streamlining your scheduling process and ensuring timely and efficient service delivery. Once you have set the last visit date and service frequency, click Save, and the information will be stored and utilized for future reminders and scheduling purposes. Now, let's explore the recently added customer and discover where all the information is stored. We'll also learn how to include more details, add extra appliance locations, access and generate invoices, schedule appointments, view past forms and certificates, and utilize various features available within their profile. If you make changes, click the Save button at the bottom. From this page, you also have the option to permanently delete the customer and their appliance details while retaining access to past invoices in reports. Alternatively, you can choose to archive the customer, allowing you to reactivate them at a later time if needed. The Addresses section is where other addresses as well as locations for your householder will be. Now, let's click on the appliance we've just added and explore all the available features that are related to this appliance. To make changes to any of the appliance details, simply click on the green pencil icon. From here, you will be able to edit all of the details for the appliance. If you make changes, click the Save button at the bottom. From this page, you also have the option to permanently delete the appliance details. Alternatively, you can choose to archive the appliance, allowing you to reactivate it at a later time if needed. To add a new note in the Notes section, click on the orange plus sign. This is a useful place to include additional details and notes that can assist you in servicing the appliance if needed. In the Library section, you have images, videos, and documents. Click on the orange plus sign to add an image. Here you have the ability to store extra images related to the appliance. These images can capture moments like installation or servicing, and they are automatically timestamped upon uploading to the app. This not only provides context for users viewing the images, but can also serve as evidence in case any disputes arise. In the Video section, click on the orange plus sign, and you can include URL links to videos.
Hi, today I'm going to show you a quick video of how to reseal your flue pipe with fire cement.
In the Documents section, click on the orange plus sign and you have the option to upload documents. As you can see, the Library section is a valuable space for storing supplementary information about the appliance. In the Forms and Certificates section, you will find all your completed forms or forms saved for later. These are the forms we discussed and added during the initial setup videos. From this section, you can add a new form by clicking the orange plus sign. Once you've filled in the form, you have the option to send it to the customer or save it for later. These forms will always be stored, allowing you to review previously filled in forms at any time. In the Appointments section, you can view both past and upcoming appointments that have been booked. In the Invoice section, you can access and view all the invoices associated with this particular appliance. Remember, you can add an invoice without an appointment if necessary. In the Quotes section, you can access and view all the quotes associated with this particular appliance. In the Contact section, you can add an insurance type contact by clicking on the orange plus sign. Let's go back to the Invoices section. Here, you can see a list of all the invoices, including unpaid, draft invoices, uninvoiced, paid, and void invoices. To create a new invoice, click on the orange plus sign. Select the customer's name, and you'll notice that the appliance associated with the customer will be displayed. By ticking the box next to the appliance location, the service that we tagged to the appliance earlier will automatically populate the invoice, making the invoicing process faster. You also have the option to add additional items to the invoice by clicking the plus sign. The list of services you added during the setup will be displayed here. Additionally, you can add a new service if needed, just like we did previously. Click the green calendar icon if you want to change the invoice date. If you want to add an additional email address for someone else to receive the invoice besides the customer, you can add it here. If you have any notes you'd like to include on the invoice for the customer to see, you can add them here as well. Once you're satisfied with everything, click Proceed to move to the next step. From this point, you can choose to add an image to the invoice. You also have the options to go back and make edits, save it as a draft for later, or proceed to the payment process. I'll click the Payment button to proceed to the next step. By selecting the drop-down box, you'll see a list of all the payment methods. For this example, I will mark this as unpaid and then click the Send Invoice button. Let's head back to the customer and go into the invoice section again. Here you will now see the invoice in the All tab. This section displays everything, including all unpaid, draft, uninvoiced, and paid invoices. To view only the unpaid invoices, click on the Unpaid tab. I will mark this invoice as paid and then select the payment method. And click the Pay button. This will then move the invoice into the Paid Invoices section. The Uninvoiced tab will automatically generate an invoice for a customer who has been booked in for a service in the calendar, and the app knows that you have not invoiced the customer yet. This can serve as a handy reminder in case you've forgotten to invoice the customer, allowing you to easily issue the invoice to the customer. Now, let's head to the Quotes tab. This section is very similar to the invoicing section. Here, you can see a list of all the quotes, accepted quotes, draft quotes, and rejected quotes. To create a new quote, click on the orange plus sign. Select the customer's name, and you'll notice that the appliance associated with the customer will be displayed. By ticking the box next to the appliance location, the service that we tagged to the appliance earlier will automatically populate. However, if it's a new quote for a different customer, you would then add any additional services that you'd like to include in the quote. You also have the option to add extra items to the quote by clicking the plus sign. The list of services you added during the setup will be displayed here. Moreover, you can add a new service if necessary, just as we did before. Click the green calendar icon if you want to change the quote's date. If there are any notes you'd like to include on the quote for the customer to see, you can add them here as well. Once you're satisfied with everything, click Quote Preview to proceed to the next step. From here, you have the option to send the quote with a breakdown of all the items or without a breakdown. You can also save it as a draft or edit it further if needed. If the customer accepts the quote, you will receive an email and a text message to notify you of their acceptance. This is a helpful reminder in case you miss the notification in your emails. You will now see the accepted quotes in the Quotes Accepted tab. If you click on a quote, you have the option to resend it, reject it, or schedule an appointment to carry out the necessary work. I will now accept the quote and move over to the Quotes Accepted tab. If you click on a quote, you have the option to resend it, schedule an appointment to carry out the necessary work, or reject it. Now, let's return to the customer's profile and click on the Appointments tab. In this section, you'll find a list of all past and upcoming appointments that have been scheduled for this customer. To create a new appointment, click on the orange plus sign. Choose the appointment type from the drop-down menu. Enter the job title. Specify the start and end dates using the calendar icons. Set the start and end times. And select the user who will be attending the appointment. You can also include any extra notes to help the user prepare for the appointment. Additionally, you have the option to add a new appliance location or select one that you've previously added. If you prefer not to send the appointment confirmation email to the customer, you can uncheck the box. From the booked-in appointment, you will be able to invoice the customer, issue a certificate or form, add any notes, or attach an image. This makes it convenient to manage all aspects of the job in one place at the time of the appointment. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we'll walk you through how to import multiple customers at once, including which columns your data should be placed in. See you in the next video.